Welcome to Left Back in the Changing Room.
Hey!
Hello, listeners. Happy 2020. 2020. Double vision. Hope you've all had a good new year. It's Jimmy Ferguson here. I am joined by the likely lads this week. We've got a return. He's come back to us. NVD. He's back from the club competition.
It's good to have you back, mate. Did you enjoy Qatar?
I did, mate. I did. Nice to get my old picture taken with the Club World Champion Trophy. But, you know, I like the cold.
I bet they charged you a lot for that. And I bet it's $50 a photo, isn't it?
I stole it, mate.
Hid it in the bush.
Typical Scouser.
I knew. I didn't even need to ask. I knew you would have nicked it.
Along with your hubcaps, mate.
Well, if I my hubcaps, I'll get a trophy. So I've also got the Sean, the John McGinn fanboy.
Hey.
How are you, Sean?
Good
How are
to
you?
be here.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. And you heard him. It's Ricky Pellegrini. But I mean, he needs a new name, actually, doesn't he? Hello, Ricky.
Shit, got to take it to the poll.
Hello, lads. Nice to be joining by phone this week.
You fancy Ricky Moyes?
Yeah, I was thinking that we could call him like Ricky
no, I don't
Moyeasy.
like him. He looks funny, doesn't he, David Moyes? A bit funny looking. The polls are still open.
We'll get you a new name. I like Ricky Rice. Anyhow, guys. So, Game Week 21 threw up quite a few surprises, listeners. It was a really strong performance from midfielders, but from
Midfield masterclass, I would say.
It absolutely was. And from our side, we had a consolidation and a leader, outright leader.
Strike ahead.
Sean, he's in. He's number one now.
Hey.
No longer sharing it with Russ. You hit a 64. Russ hit a 53. You're 1205. Russ is 1194.
Boat's taking on water again.
What
Sorry,
happened,
Captain.
mate? How did you do it?
I think one of the big things I did this week was bring in the double Liverpool duo in at the back, the double defence. I was banking on them getting a clean sheet. They were playing later than everyone else as well, so it was a bit holding on, but them doing well.
Oh, Robertson and Arnold, right? Rather than Van Dijk. I mean, That's a strong move. We've spoken about it many times before. Yeah. At the moment, though, Liverpool do look like they're getting clean sheets quite consistently.
Exactly. They seem to be very hard to break down at the back, so a lot of points there. Then Leicester as well. So we spoke about it at the end of last week. We said we thought Leicester were going to be back. We had said that Newcastle looked pretty unlikely to score, and that proved to be the case. Schmeichel picking up 6 points for the clean sheet. And we had some debate over whether Maddison was in, and you had said, Jimmy Ferguson, that you were going to stick with him for one more week. I hope you did, because he did a good performance there, getting their third goal and picking up all 3 bonus points. So after only playing 20 minutes the last week, we had talked about the rotation.
And Patrick Vieira called out Maddison as well last week. He said he's going to stick with him. It feels like he'd had a bit of a rest and he'd back in the team and revitalised. What a bloody goal.
Yeah, it was a great hit. Absolutely
Excellent
great
goal.
hit.
Yeah, and I think if that Leicester threw a lot of people off. Vardy, everyone thought he'd be back from having his baby, but then he picked up this calf injury as well, which kind of came. Well, we weren't aware of it, so it came out of nowhere, and he was still the most captain. It was only over 50% of people had him as captain. So
Vardy,
wow. So and he didn't even play. So I hope you had set your vice captain wisely. Unfortunately for me, it was De Bruyne, and only picking up 2 points. That was a bit of a.
This could have been a far better week for you.
That didn't make me happy.
I did see Maddison put out on Twitter that he got a text from his mum saying that was the best goal he'd scored this year. Thought it was quite a good joke. It's his only goal, and it probably is the best goal he will score all year, because it was a really good hit.
It was a sweet hit.
Well played. I don't think he's going to get many more like that. So, Sean, the other one you had was Todd Cantwell. I saw you brought him into your team.
The man with the perm. Yeah.
The perm.
That was a very last-minute game time decision that I made there. I managed to take out Mason Mount and consolidate that with Cantwell, and that proved very tasty. Him picking up 10 points. He got a good goal.
So your 2 transfers for the week, Cantwell came in and Robertson came in.
It was actually Alexander-Arnold that came in.
Okay.
I had Robertson anyway, so
it's good though. 16 points, 2 transfers, nicely done. Good finish from Cantwell. Good celebration. Not disco hands. Come on, Todd. Come on. You're not in. What's that What's that 80s club?
Reflex?
Reflex. You're not in Reflex, Campbell. Norwich Reflex.
I have no idea, but
Icon Diva.
every little town has an 80s bar called Reflex, doesn't it?
It
does, and you always find Todd Campbell in there with his mum.
They've both got same perms.
Yeah, the girls don't know who's who.
But I tell you what,
up top, mate. Up top. What did you have up there?
up top, Danny Wings. Wow,
Danny Wings.
He continues. You said last week you were thinking about taking him out, and you were unsure.
I'd never had him. Never had him.
You would have picked Troy Deeney ahead of Wings. I think was your show at the end of the last podcast. And wow, Danny keeps on doing it. Another goal and another 3 bonus points that he just keeps picking up.
I've got to say, mate, my whole philosophy of Danny Wings and what I've been saying has completely changed. I'm just doing a 360 since last week now. This whole season I've been so against him because I think his luck's going to run out.
Yeah.
And then I watched this goal that he scores against Tottenham.
It's great.
He
goal.
leaves Vertonghen, I think it was Vertonghen, literally on his arse.
That was almost like Gascoigne-esque.
It was brilliant. It was such a good goal. And when I watched it, I was like, that is confidence right there. This boy is high on confidence. He's going to keep scoring. And he doesn't do anything wrong because he gets one chance, he scores, and then he gets 3 bonus points. And again, he got the 3 bonus points.
And do you see him being a part of the squad in 2020 this year?
I do hope not.
You hope not?
Yeah. I don't trust him that much.
Vardy comes back in ahead of him. I don't know. His form, his confidence.
I just feel you've got Rashford, you've got Kane.
Yeah, I think he's too far down the pecking order, to be honest.
Yeah. Wow. The
stats don't lie, don't they?
Yeah, and then up front was Southampton v Spurs. Spurs were a wet blanket again. They just
had Kane
so
up there
and
as
down,
well.
and it did have Kane there, and
he's injured as well now.
Yeah, well, he actually got injured scoring a goal that got disallowed. Right?
Yeah.
He reached forward for it. It was offside, and then his hamstring got pulled. So that was a bit of an unfortunate minute from Tottenham that sent Mourinho a bit crazy as well, didn't it? And he got a booking.
Mourinho went and stole the instructions from the Southampton goalkeeping coach.
That's right. He said he was rude, but rude to an idiot.
Rude to an idiot.
What a quote.
I think what would happen is Kane got injured, come on, goes, Jose, Beavis injured, hamstring. We need goalkeeping note or Southampton bench. Send Butthead in. Anyhow, Jose goes in himself.
I love how
Beavis was done, mate.
Great how Beavis picked up an accent as well on the way off the pitch.
I don't know what he became, but he became something.
So not bad. 64 points from me. I'll take that, given the average was 48. So climbing up there, but that was also
good return.
It was also matched in the league by our one and only NVD, also getting 64.
So NVD, you did a 54, 60. Sorry, whatever Sean said as
64.
well.
64. That's it.
You're still in 4th though, mate. Ahead of you, we do have Ricky Pellegrini, Captain Russ.
I'm just consolidating that 4th position, to be honest, which I think when I woke up on New Year's Day with a blinding hangover, which I'm sure many of us on the left-back FPL team, as well as our FPL managers did, I had like 4 points, and I was thinking, that's it. I'm going to just kind of, whittle down the league and get overtaken by the one and only sausage burner. But fortunately, I think, as we've mentioned, the midfield did us wonders. Yeah. I think kind of anybody who either doubled up on defenders from Liverpool or Leicester, and same probably could be said for the midfield as well, really kind of fortunately scored them points. So it's great. I mean, I've had Grealish in my team for a couple of game weeks now, and to be fair, he's returned. Not too bad. Like 3 game weeks, he's kind of returned about 20 points. So
I mean, your midfield. I know you got 64, the same as Sean and John McGinn fanboy, but you had a slightly different makeup there, and your midfield together
I went for the double. Yeah, I went for
42 points from 4 midfielders.
That's it. It was great.
Very
I mean,
good.
I just wish that I didn't put as much faith in Rashford as you do, Jimmy Ferg. I don't know how. I must have been on my last drink or something, and I put him as my vice captain. And unfortunately,
I've got to admit, not even I did that against Arsenal. I was like, I'm not going there. I just don't trust United at the most of the time.
But then at the same time, I guess.
So you had him as vice. You had Vardy as your main. Didn't work out for you.
It didn't. Yeah,
you
unfortunately.
had Salah. You had Mane. Not Todd, the man with the perm.
Not that I would have picked Grealish or Cantwell as my captain, but I could have easily got points off of Mane, Salah, or even Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's just been on a great run of form. But yeah, I mean, look, solid, to be honest, as Sean, John McGinn fanboy, had said, above the average at 64. I'll take that. Starting to consolidate that fourth position. The prawn sandwiches are pretty good there. Distancing myself from yourself, Jimmy Fergan.
I'll catch you on the tails of Ricky.
On the tail of really Ricky Pellers,
He's catching you, Ricky. And I'll tell you what, I had somewhat of a come to Jesus moment this week, and not the guy from Man City. I've got nowhere near him. But I said earlier about Ings. I'm now seeing the value of Grealish, and I know Ricky Pellegrini will jump into your team in a minute, but I know you've also got Grealish, and he got an assist and a goal this game week. A really great goal.
He's vitally important.
The way he sort of set the ball, he just flicked it to the side, hit it. It was so instinctive. It was brilliant. It was set and hit. A great goal.
Correct.
And the little chip in for the assist, really, really well done. I think with Villa, and Ricky, you've been on this for a while, if Villa do anything, it's going to come from Grealish, especially with McGinn out.
Yeah, they've got McGinn out, they've got Wesley out as well now. He's injured for a lengthy layoff. So I think the goals, if they're going to score, it is going to be Grealish. He's moved up further up the pitch in his position as well, sort of playing off that left and cutting in. But yeah, he's brilliant.
He's looking good.
We spoke about it earlier on in the season. We were, comparing him to Maddison, and I think he could be close by the end of the season in terms of points. But obviously, the downside is Aston Villa are going to score less goals than Leicester are, right? So that's the only downside on that.
But then obviously, as we said, if they do score, Grealish is likely to be involved. But then, what Neil just alluded to there, he's sitting in fourth. He is looking at you. He's got eyes on the third prize. He likes a little bit of the caviar up there, I believe. And
that's good. I heard it tastes good.
He's 27 points behind you, Ricky, but you yourself, you are only 15 behind Captain Russ, so it's all getting a little congested in that top four.
Squeaky bum time.
53 points between yourself, NVD, and Sean.
When are you going to catch up, Mr. Ferguson?
I feel like it might be over for me, guys. I think I just got to try and get fifth. I'll take you over as long as that sausage burner don't get near me. But Ricky, I want to jump to your team because we had one last hope as well for the Cup, didn't we, this week? You were the remaining F-back FPL Cup man, and tell us, mate, what's happened?
I was jinxed from the lad from Egypt. I thought I was clear.
Kareem, he rang up last week.
Kareem was on the phone, and he well and truly did.
Just for listeners' benefits.
He spanked me.
Well, for the benefits, Ricky, before you go into it, of listeners, you text us on the Saturday night, or whatever night it was. I think it was New Year's night, and told us, I've beaten him.
Easy days.
No problem, lads. As soon as you'd forgotten that you had...
It was... Cantwell on the bench that I was like fancy to look at, but it was Salah. Salah did me really in the end. He captained Salah, obviously my vice captain, because Vardy didn't play De Bruyne, and I didn't have much hope, to be honest with you. I chickened out from Mane. I should have stuck with Mane, who I did have as my vice captain earlier in the week, but I didn't think Mane would play, to be honest with you. I thought we were talking about it the week before. I thought the Liverpool players would be rested in that game, but it wasn't. He come up trumps. So so fair play to the lads, but as always next year, right?
Yeah, always next year, and kudos to you. You were the furthest out of everyone around the table, so none of us can really say anything to you. Other than your maths issue.
Pellers, mate. I got one question for you, mate. I mean, what's the love affair with Willian from Chelsea, mate? He's in your team, and I know he's returned 7 points. I think kind of the previous game week, but then before that, absolutely nothing, mate.
Yeah, he had that good game against Tottenham, right? He scored that double, and I just thought, I thought if Lampard's like him at the moment, some of the other players like Pulisic weren't really at the races, so I thought Willian was going to be their main man, but he hasn't really done it since then. He's definitely someone I'm looking at to take out potentially this week. I've got 2 transfers this week to use up, so I'm sort of plotting my next move to try and I'm happy in third at the moment, as long as I stay consistent and don't fall far behind. As long as Sausage Burner and Jimmy don't catch up with me, then I'm happy.
Well, it's new. It's on your heels, mate. I actually quite like your Willian move, and I was thinking about this myself today. And Shawnee's just said to me, when am I going to catch you lot? The only way I can catch you is by right now, I've got to make sure that you're decent players, I have them. And that's why I'm considering like Ings at the moment. But outside of that, the only way I can catch you is by going for those little, diamonds in the rough that are selected by only a small percentage of teams. And Williani's only 6.2% of teams. If you're below in your league right now, the only way you're catching up is by doing something slightly different and not losing too much.
To be honest, the diversification really has to come in your captaincy. Right? If you've got 50% of people picking Vardy, you're going to have to be contrarian to that. And you're going to have to hope that Vardy fails. Like happened this week, it could have made up some ground if you had, a lot of people didn't put as much choice and thought into their vice captain. So it was kind of just an afterthought.
I do agree with that, but I think it comes from two things. Because if you do the captain, right, I think that it's dodgy. Because if you'd have all gone Vardy and he had have played, and let's say he'd have got a hat trick, you're out essentially. That's it. You've lost even further.
You're at that point of the season that it's all or nothing, right?
But I think you can still be strategic. We're only halfway through. It's all or nothing to me when you get to the last 10 games. At this point, it's about, I don't want to lose any further ground. So if Sean, Neil,